Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where last episode we took out the majority of the base garrison up over here. There's still 2 units, a Venom and a Flashman, and they're not going to last too much longer. We've also been working on these turrets up over here. They're very close to being eliminated, but Comstar reinforcements have arrived. They've got a Serrano, they've got a Vulcan, they've got a Trebuchet, an Urban Mech, and a Hoplite, and I think they should have one more, but I don't... Oh, up over here, a weapons carrier, large laser. Okay, sure. So that's absolutely fine. We'll get through those relatively quickly, but they all currently have 12 evasive, so I'm not interested in focusing on them at this time. Now, we could absolutely take the Centaur out over here and hit the rear arc of the Venom. It has 8 evasive, though. The Flashman is pretty damaged in one of its torsos. This is not correctly showing up right now. I think I'm just going to reserve the Centaur for the moment. And we'll see what the IS standard down here does. I would like to see it move in and like try to swarm one of these units. It ends up rear attacking this Trebuchet, but that doesn't do very much.
Orders.
Okay, so the Centaur is moving next. I still don't want to move the Centaur. So next up would be the Shadowhawk, and the Shadowhawk would want to position right out over here.
Good to go.
And we're going to fire on this Flashman. Okay, it's the arm that's exposed? Sure. Well, that definitely did some damage to the Flashman there.
Yes, give them everything you've got.
But it doesn't eliminate the Flashman. That's going to require at least one more Grasshopper salvo, but the Flashman doesn't move until phase 8, so I'm okay with that for now. Our allied Thunderbolt moves up and fires on this Venom. It does get a little bit of armor damage in there, but that's really not very much. Okay, the Venom moves now. It's got that heavy PPC. Let's see how it brings that to bear. What is this over here? Oh, that's a UAV. Right. Okay, so heavy PPC. That thing can do a lot of damage. Positions over here and goes for a Rifleman, but misses. How much evasive does it have right now? Not the Rifleman, that has 1. But how much evasive does this Venom have? 8. Okay.
Standing by.
So I think at this point, our Hoplite is going to stay put, and we're going to fire at this Calliope. This should eliminate it. And do a little bit of damage to the other Calliope as well. But yes, this does look dead. Beautiful.
Target.
So one more Calliope out of there. And what's next? We have 2 allied units. I would like to see them either attacking this Flashman or engaging these guys out over here, but now is not the time to engage these guys out over here. They all still have high evasive. Okay, engaging the Flashman. I like it. An ER large laser and a medium pulse laser destruction there. So that's continuing to soften up that arc. I think that going for the Flashman is the right call right now. It only has the 2 evasive, and so that should be absolutely fine. Okay, next up is going to be the Flashman. I would like to see it get... No, not the Flashman yet. Wow, this is so laggy. Okay. Must be the Serrano? Usually it's VTOLs that cause this kind of a frame drop. That's kind of insane. No doubt about it. Okay. It must be. No, that's phase 12. What is in phase 16? It's this guy. The Vulcan. Okay, so he's jumping up on top of that building and firing at the IS standard. I love this. This is so good for us. I really, really like that.
Yes.
Next up, our crossbow. The crossbow is going to position somewhere off over this direction. I think. Maybe back here? Yes, back here. So the idea behind this is we're not going to go for the Venom here. We're not going to go for the Flashman, even though we have really good hit odds there. I want to take out this Calliope. The Calliope is softened, and we're not going to destroy it with this salvo, but we can definitely weaken its armor significantly. significantly. And that's exactly what we want to do. Beautiful. So they've still got the 2 turrets here, the sniper turret and the Calliope. We want those to be eliminated very, very soon. This Prowler MTV is moving up and firing on the Flashman. Okay, I like this choice. Next up is our Centaur. Now that we know where these have moved, I'm going to engage the Centaur up this direction.
Roger.
We're going to get our 10 evasive, and we're going to fire on this sniper turret. I would love to see this get eliminated. I don't think we quite destroy it here.
Affirmative.
But we definitely do need... Okay, we missed quite a lot there, too. We definitely need to be eliminating these turrets so that we're not taking damage from them as we're engaging the reinforcements, which haven't started to really move too much yet. So I think the Grasshopper is going to go for the Flashman. The Shadowhawk is going to go engage that Venom. Is the idea here. So the Grasshopper is going to step forward. And we are turning our back to the reinforcements here. Our back is fresh. It should be okay. We're going to fire on the Flashman's side arc here, and this could potentially do a lot of damage or just directly eliminate it if it's got an XL engine for sure. Okay, that's an annoying laser stuck on sound. There we go. Cool. So one very dead Flashman. That's exactly what we want to see. Next up is going to be a reinforcement unit that is going to be that Urban Mech. Okay. The Urban Mech is going for the IS standard. Makes sense. I would too. It did a lot of damage to the IS standard, and that jump only gave it 3 evasive. So that Urban Mech might be a good target for some of our units. Our Trebuchet, right now, is going to step forward over here. I'm going to go for the Calliope. I want this Calliope gone.
Got it.
This is a fairly likely kill. Yes. Beautiful. And then finally, we've got the sniper turret, which... Has the Black Knight moved yet? No. That'll be the Black Knight's job. So then the only thing remaining from over here, the original encounter, will be the Venom. That Serrano gunship is moving up. It just... Where did it move to? There? Okay, and then it sensor locks us. That's fine for now. And then it fires on the Prowler MTV. I don't hate that at all. That's very good. So the Black Knight is going to advance up over here, with its job being to take out this sniper turret. Hopefully it finishes the job, but it might not. It's a fair amount of internal damage, but we did not finish off that sniper turret. Okay. The Black Knight isn't the greatest at that sort of a job, but it's who we had available. Okay, so the next unit to move will be the Rifleman. We might have LOS on the Rifleman. We'll see. That Trebuchet is positioning and firing on our Rifleman. Okay. It got a fair amount of damage in there with only 1 evasive. That's not shocking. Okay, so next up would be our Rifleman. This is actually LOS on that sniper turret, and we have pretty good hit odds. I'm going to take it. I want guns off the field. Nice. That's 2 hits. Beautiful. So no turrets remain. That is excellent.
That turret is gone.
Now all that we need to do is eliminate the Venom and the reinforcements. So, we'll see where the reinforcements decide to move right now. This is currently not the Trebuchet moving. This is the Hoplite. So we'll see what that wants to do. Swinging our fire support over here is going to be interesting. The Hoplite jumps and lands on this ramp and then just braces. Okay. And there is one more unit out there that we don't see. That is good to know. I suspected as much. Or is there? There might be. I don't think we got positive confirmation there. Okay, so the IS standard is moving out over here and firing on this Urban Mech. It does a decent amount of damage there. I like that. all of our allied units are going to be either attacking the Venom or fighting out over here at this point. And that is exactly what we want to see.
Orders.
The Centaur, at this point, I kind of want to go send after this weapons carrier. It's a really long ways away, and we can have the Centaur start heading out there and be relatively safe and keep moving, while our other units engage these guys, who we have a slight numerical well, actually, we have a numerical advantage over because of the allied units. Ooh, taking down this building. I like it. Now, the VTOL isn't going to take fall damage, but that Vulcan absolutely is. That's solid. That did a lot of leg armor damage. I like it. So next up, where are we facing here? I think we need to turn this around over here. Yes, cool. So next up is going to be this unit here. It's firing on that urban mech. Okay, that's absolutely fine for now.
Ready for orders.
Now would be our Grasshopper's move, and I kind of want the Grasshopper to engage this Venom.
Acknowledged.
Heat is a little bit of a concern. We're going to turn around here, and we're going to fire on the Grasshopper. This is mostly a pot shot. The AC-20 only has a 27% chance to hit.
Roger that.
Yeah, I'm not shocked that it didn't hit.
Oh, it's on now.
The Venom has a lot of evasive right now. Although we did penetrate the armor there, and it has very little CT armor. So that's absolutely noted. So phase 16 here, our ally continuing to focus on that urban mech. It got a head hit. I like that.
Goods to go.
Next up would be, in theory, our rifleman, who could position out over here, and who would be able to fire on the Venom or on the Serrano. I feel like the Venom is the larger threat here. So I'm going to position here, and we're going to focus fire this Venom, even though it has 8 evasive and is hard to hit. Let's see what we get. Ooh, that was really solid. We hit 3 out of 4 weapons there. That's incredible. And we actually just killed it.
Scratch another target.
Amazing. That was a really, really low odds action. I like it. So our Trebuchet at this point can move up over this way. We get side arc on the Serrano. I don't love it. It's only 12.5% hit odds. I think we're going to go for... Okay, yeah, I don't like that angle either. If we position here, we get side arc on this Vulcan. I'm going to take this,
Got it.
but it's not great. We're going to see what we can get done here. Maybe we soften up the Vulcan a little bit.
Firing on target.
Yeah, heavy on the little. As I said, not great. Okay, next up is our Shadowhawk. And the Shadowhawk is absolutely going to engage down over here. It's quite fresh, actually.
Affirmative.
It can position here. We've got rear arc on this hoplite. Okay. We've also got... That's kind of our best hit odds as well. Sure, we'll take the rear arc on the hoplite. I don't expect to get too much out of it, but we can definitely threaten the hoplite a little bit. Cool. So next up, they're going to move the hoplite. They're going to move the Vulcan. They're going to move the urban mech. Okay, that seems fine. And in this round, we are going to get to move our hoplite. Okay. So who do they move first? They should move this Vulcan, knowing what I know about my plan, and that is indeed who they move. Okay. So the plan was to fire a flak at this Serrano, and that would have caused splash damage to the Vulcan if they didn't move it. So that's why they needed to move it. But they jumped it, and now it's really close to being unsteady.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting. I'm going to position the hoplite out over here.
On it.
And we're going to fire on the Serrano in flak mode. Or are we? It only has 90 armor. Yes.
Target confirmed.
That's a structure exposure. And I think we shot it down. Fantastic. I wouldn't have taken that shot if I hadn't have noticed that that side arc only had 11 armor in it. So, yeah, that's definitely the right call. I like it. Next up, they're going to move their urban mech. They jumped it. They shouldn't do this. They're firing on the IS standard. The IS standard is going to go away eventually. That's okay. That is absolutely fine for the moment. So we're going to need to get closed in on some of these units over here. The hoplite is going to move immediately, and we'll see who it targets. I would target probably that IS infantry. I would not want to be swarmed by it. I don't think that's what it's doing, though. Nope, it goes for our Shadowhawk, but it barely hits. We've got 7 evasive in our Shadowhawk right now, so it's pretty hard to hit, actually.
Commander?
Next up would be our crossbow, and the crossbow really wants to head up over this way. We do manage to get an LOS from here on that Vulcan. It's low hit odds, but the Vulcan is going to become unsteady from here. So I'm going to position it here. And actually, this isn't that low of hit odds. The Vulcan is absolutely going to be unsteady. It's got low armor in its legs as well. So that looks pretty decent, all things considered. Next up, Phase 12. They're going to be moving, I believe this is their weapons carrier. We'll see what that ends up doing. It's way up here. Yeah, that's who they're going to move. And that's who our Centaur is after. Our Centaur will kill this very easily, for the record. Well, what are you going to do? You just going to sit there? Yep, he's just going to sit there. That's fine. So the Black Knight has taken a lot of damage, right? I'm going to send the Black Knight up this direction, and I'm going to sprint it, because I want all the evasive we can get. And we're going to move up over here. I don't want the Black Knight to really be engaging these other units, so we're instead going to use it to engage these buildings. These buildings have to die eventually, and we may as well start working on that. Okay. So next up, they're going to move their final unit for this round, and that is, of course, going to be their Trebuchet. We'll see what it does. It's got 40 LRMs in it, right? Oh, jumping up on top of this building? And then shooting at the rifle. I mean, that's a fair amount of damage, but it's very exposed there. How much instability does it have? I feel like this was not a good call. We'll find out as soon as we get the round shifted over here. We'll get there eventually. Okay. Round 8. It's got about a bar of instability and 6 evasive. Okay. Noted. Yeah, this is really, really bad positioning in my opinion. I like firing on the Vulcan here. I think that's a good call. Our Centaur, of course, is going to continue running down that weapons carrier. So we're just going to position up over here. That looks good for now. Phase 18, we have some allied movers. We'll see what they end up doing. That's going to be this Thunderbolt. I'd like to see it come down over here and engage the Urban Mech. Instead, it positions here and fires indirect on the hoplite. I like this a lot less. Okay, our Grasshopper absolutely wants to start heading this direction. Unfortunately, this is some really, really, really bad shots for our AC-20. We do not want to stray shot the rear arc on these two. But we can fire on this Trebuchet, and that should be a pretty clean shot. I'm going to not fire a few medium lasers here for heat purposes, but otherwise... Oh, we even hit the AC-20 in his leg and made him unsteady. That is one very sad Trebuchet. This thing is in serious danger at this point. We're going to leg it very soon, and it's going to take a lot of damage. Phase 18, we'll see what our ally decides to do. Hitting the Trebuchet. I like it. This is a good call. Just continue to soften up the Trebuchet. Now, the Shadowhawk is not going to be going for the Trebuchet here. We're going to hop down over this way. We can hit rear arc on this Irby. And actually, that's probably our best bet, is to hit rear arc on the Irby here. Force it to turn around. We didn't break through the armor. We were a ways away, but that's fine. We also, actually we did break through the armor. We also unjammed that machine gun, so that's good. Phase 17, we'll see what our ally unit does here. That's one of these guys out over here, I think. He just did literally nothing, but sure. So our hoplite is going to step forward over here. I'm not going to fire the artillery at this time on the trebuchet. But I am going to fire everything else we have here.
Roger that.
Fair amount of damage there. Lower leg destruction. We just need to continue focusing on him. So, phase 15, that is going to be this Vulcan moving. The Vulcan is very weakened in its front arc. Incredibly weakened. 1 armor HP in that CT. That is incredibly damaged. So he moves up and gets himself some evasive and then fires on our crossbow. Crossbow's fine. We don't really care about that. So that's all okay for the time being. Now it's our rifleman's turn, and the rifleman is going to look to position about here, and we're going to fire on that trebuchet. Now, heat is a concern here, no doubt about it. I'm going to not fire this PPC, I think. Actually, this large laser.
Got it.
Considerable damage to that trebuchet. Nice.
Watch my heat level.
Phase 14, this guy moves in phase 13, remember. So we're going to have to do a lot of damage to him in this phase. That is our crossbow and our trebuchet. The trebuchet will be the primary instigator on this. I like this shot on the Irby. I think that's very solid. So at this point, our trebuchet is going to hop up over here. Do we want side arc or front arc? I kind of want front arc, to be honest.
On my way.
So we're going to attack this trebuchet, and this is going to do a considerable amount of damage to it. I expect at the very least a knockdown, which will reserve it back at least a phase.
All weapons are go.
That looked like solid hits. I think it's dead.
Next,
Yep.
destroy.
Fantastic. So the trebuchet is gone. Next up, of course, is our crossbow, and the crossbow wants to position to attack this Vulcan.
On my way.
Are we better off firing Sam on the Vulcan at this range? No. Okay.
Roger.
The Vulcan may well die here. It's going to take a lot of damage anyway, but it is indeed dead. Beautiful.
Mech destroyed.
And then there were 3.
I'm out of long-range missiles.
So now they're going to be moving their urban mech. The urban mech has taken a lot of damage, and it has to make a choice now. Does it turn its back to the Shadowhawk or the IS Standard, or does it get aggressive and attack the IS Standard with a melee here, if it even can reach that? Urbies are slow. If it can reach the IS Standard here, that would be the way to go. Head this way and try to eliminate the IS Standard. But if it does that, our Shadowhawk comes down this way and can move to about here-ish. We may or may not be able to get into range of that. So it decides to not risk it and attack our Shadowhawk instead. But now its rear arc is exposed to this infantry.
Light damage, Commander.
So it's not in a good spot, right? It was never going to be in a good spot. Our Black Knight is going to advance up over here, and I'm going to finish off this military building. For heat purposes, actually this is fine. Yeah, just fire on that medium military building. Beautiful. So there's one structure gone.
Brought it down, Commander.
Indeed you did. Another enemy unit moves now, and which one is that? That is, if we can come down here, there we go, that'll be the hoplite. The hoplite should probably keep focusing on the Shadowhawk here, ideally from this left side, but it's not going to be able to get to the left side here. It jumps into the cover and shoots at our crossbow. That's a choice. I don't think it's a good choice. It's got nearly full instability, but it is a choice. Okay, so next up, of course, our Centaur is going to continue chasing down that weapons carrier. Absolutely. As soon as we get caught up here and the next round starts, there we go. Actually, the infantry moves first. Yeah, go for the rear arc attack here. That's absolutely the call. Absolutely 100%. Okay, so actually our Shadowhawk moves now, remarkably. So we would have to sprint and charge in order to melee this. I think instead, we're just going to position it about here.
Copy that.
We could side arc the hoplite, but we're not going to. We're just going to end up hitting the Irby here. This is front arc, so I don't know that we get through the armor. We don't, but that's fine. This Irby is in serious danger. Actually,
Here we go.
LBX-10 cluster ammo explosion. I didn't even think we broke through the armor there. Remarkable. Maybe that was a through armor crit.
Got my attention.
Huh. Insane. I did not expect that. So we can get into position to hit this weapons carrier now, and that's exactly what we're going to do. The weapons carrier just dies here.
Confirmed.
Unless we spread out tremendously badly, but that looks like a kill.
Oh, great.
Yeah, there we go. I don't think it was even possible, given the hit odds, for the weapons carrier to survive there.
LRMs
So
are
now
out.
there's only one enemy remaining. So obviously they're going to hit the hoplite, and that's going to make it unsteady. And so the hoplite is in extraordinarily serious danger here. I'm going to position our hoplite here, and I am going to fire the Thumper artillery. We haven't gotten knocked down by the Thumper artillery in a long time. Watch us get knocked down this time.
Firing.
So that's the structure exposure, and the hoplite is unsteady now. Yep, there we go. I comment on it, and there's the knockdown. Gotta love it. It's okay. No problem whatsoever. That was not the worst time for that to happen. That's for sure. So phase 18, they are going to fire what they can at the hoplite. I don't expect too much out of this. UAV moving over and like scouting it or something. The grasshopper is going to sprint in down over here.
Confirmed.
And this could do a fair amount of damage, to be honest. Let's see what we get done there. We missed the AC-20, so that was definitely non-ideal.
Once more under the breach, dear friend.
Okay, that was a 50-50. It's worth a try. Next up is going to be this Prowler MTV. That's, of course, also going to shoot at the hoplite. Who else is it going to shoot at? There's literally no one else.
Commander?
So our trebuchet is going to position up over here. I want the direct
Right,
LOS. And we're going to hit this hoplite. Its
Right,
front
Commander.
armor is actually doing pretty okay right now. But that's not going to be the case for long.
Yes.
Our rifleman is not in a position to do much of anything other than attacking this medium military building. So I guess we'll do that and sink a little heat. And we have pretty low armor as well, so it's not the worst thing for the rifleman to be disengaged right now.
Receiving.
Our crossbow can absolutely close in over here and go for this hoplite. At the very least, I expect a knockdown here. That was a lot of hits. I don't think we penetrated the armor, but that is indeed a knockdown. Beautiful.
I'm generating a lot of heat.
So next up is our Black Knight. Of course, the Black Knight is still up this way working on eliminating these military
On the
buildings.
way.
And we'll get going on this one.
Locked and loaded. Here it comes.
I don't expect that to die here, but that's absolutely fine. Beautiful. The hoplite gets up, unfortunately. We didn't get a chance to hit it while it was down. What's it gonna do? Jump? I feel like jumping is its only real option at this point, other than not leave the rubble. But that's kind of a worse option. Yeah, it had to jump. But jumping is still a bad option. So it fires on our grasshopper and gets, I think, literally nothing. I love it. That's absolutely great. And then it ejects. Okay. Sure. I guess it can eject. That's fine. So we're moving into the next round now, and the only thing that we need to do is eliminate those last couple of buildings, which we've already been working on. So that's absolutely wonderful. Our Centaur is just going to sprint out over here.
Aye, aye.
And we can really only attack this medium military building with a couple of SRMs.
Locked on target.
That's exactly what we're
Follow
going
my
to do.
lead.
And we're going to be out of SRMs.
SRMs are out.
Yeah, that's expected. It's also kind of perfect timing to run out of SRMs, to be honest. Our crossbow is going to turn around here, and let's finish off this building. Yep, this is fine.
Locked on target.
There we go. And this last building is softened up
Brought it
and
down,
won't
Commander.
take very much to bring down. Who do we move next?
It's over the red line.
Okay, it's 2 allied units. This is kind of pointless. They're not going to attack the buildings. And we are
Will
going
be
to bring
done.
our grasshopper up over this direction. Now, the grasshopper is not
Oh,
in
wow.
range, so it can't actually take down that
Yes,
building.
Commander.
The Shadowhawk is not in LOS,
On
so
my
it
right,
can't
double
take down
mark.
that building, but it can sink heat. The Prowler is not going to fire because it's an allied control unit, and they don't attack buildings. So I think it's going to end up being this Trebuchet, or the Rifleman, that finishes it off for us.
Waiting
It
for
doesn't
orders.
really matter which. It's going to be the Trebuchet.
Affirmative.
Okay. This building will not survive this salvo.
Roger that.
Fantastic.
To bug out. Get to the LZ, folks.
Oh, we don't need to go to the LZ. We already killed all the enemies. So that is good. Fantastic. Very awkward timing for those reinforcements to show up. No doubt about that. That could have been quite bad. But luckily, they didn't really engage us in any meaningful way until we had cleaned up the others. So we were able to divide and conquer there fairly effectively. I like it. In terms of salvage, what are we interested in? Honestly, those LRM-20s, I wouldn't mind those. What else would we be interested in? Maybe the sniper artillery? Do we have a sniper artillery, and do we have ammo? I know that we've had the option before, but I think we declined it because of lack of ammo. We did take a fair amount of armor damage. They want the Trebuchet, they want the Phoenix Hawk, they want the Vulcan. They're offering us this in exchange. I mean, it's not very good, but I'll accept it. I'm not too worried about it. Okay. I want the LRM-20. Artemis 4 attachments. How many of these do we have? Only one? Okay. Do we have any LRM-20s in stock? No, we don't. I see that case. That might be an interesting option. Ferrofibrous armor. Always good. No sniper artilleries in here. Okay. I think we're just going to go for the case 2. There we go. That'll do. Small lasers are always great to have around. Basic cockpits, we don't care about. Standard cockpits, we don't care about. Clan engine XLs. Ooh. That's an interesting one. Improved FCS, a clan double heatsink kit, couple of small jump jets that we really don't need, generic structure, AC-10 ammo, Deadfire SRM ammo. That's all pretty decent. That Deadfire SRM ammo is actually quite good. There's no doubt about that. Of course, we are going to be a little bit... who would we put that on? The Grasshopper would be an interesting option for that, actually. Yeah, absolutely it would be. Deadfire SRM ammo into the Grasshopper would be very interesting. I'm probably going to forget to do it, though, to be honest. Anything else that we have that's running SRMs right now? I'm thinking about that. I mean, we've got the clan SRMs in our Centaur, but we can't use Deadfire ammo in our Centaur. Other options. The Shadowhawk is using MRMs, which we might want to consider upgrading that to an MRM-30. Yeah, we took a fair amount of damage. I'm not surprised about that number. 175,000? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. I think this is all okay. Yeah, all looks good. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to get these repairs done and see about heading out again. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time. I just realized we have a mech tech buff from a previous event that we chose that'll help us out quite a bit here. Cool.